All right.
And hello, StreamYard. And now we're live. Okay. So we're talking about tonight's topic is intimacy and adding intimacy, enhancing intimacy with role play. So some people are about that role play life, some people are not. One of the things I was just saying is it's not a bad thing. So one of the things that makes it real sexy or in the role play that I've engaged in is I used to have a hat thing. I'll tell on myself as always. I used to have a hat thing and my friend and I we used to do do photographer sets. So like sexy photographer sets. And it was like really fun. We like really got into it. That was a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um what about you? Where have you kind of been with
Yeah,
the you said sexy stripper. What kinds of did you have like outfits or
yeah, yeah. That was
for the
fun.
stripper outfits, there's not much to the stripper outfit.
Well, they would go under your clothes, and then you do like a Superman reveal. You know, so that
Okay,
was
I like
the
that.
part.
I
So
like that.
kind of like a businessman, and
Oh,
I don't want to say secretary, but just a colleague at work. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's getting hot in here. And then you whip,
I love it. I
or,
love it. I love it.
one of my favorites was you never met this person at a restaurant or a bar that
The
neither
bar
of
scene.
you, yes, have been to. That to me was awesome for both,
Hmm.
partners, because we've never been there, and then we can kind of include people at the place in on our role play, on our fantasy, because they're like, oh, do they know each other? What's going on here? So,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I think the one of the things I think that really might make role play really exciting and really sexy is being in a place in a space where you've never been before
Hmm.
because and you know you're not going to go back because then you can push the boundaries and
Right.
do some things that you might deem naughty or pushing the envelope because no one's going to judge you or no one's going to know you. Hopefully,
Right.
you're not going to a hometown
Right.
place. Um, one of the things that I've always liked about role play is that it gives you permission to do things that you would never do before. So um, my my ex and I, he knew he'd say, well, who's coming out to play tonight? And I had a name that I'd say, well, tonight, no, say Felicia, tonight, Elena is coming. Elena will be coming by later this evening, and he was like, oh. I like her. She's fun. She does this, that, this, that, this, that. So I think sometimes if I were coaching someone who was going to be doing role play, I'd say have a different
Mhm.
name
Right.
because then it allows you to step outside of yourself and have that kind of freedom to explore and to do different things.
Right.
But I will
Absolutely.
say this, and I don't know if you had this challenge, set I don't want to say set boundaries, but make sure that everyone's on the same page with what
Mhm.
we can do, what I'll let you know we can go forward, we can go out to here. But the same way with bondage, if I say the safe word, then I need you to dial it back and to do a
Right.
little bit less in that sense. One of the things I would say, you guys, if you're getting into role play, go shopping for stuff, get props. It might
Yes.
be my
Yes.
thing was if I was doing role play, I bought very expensive lingerie. So that was the first clue that we were having lingerie. And it's like, and no, no ripping. We will not be
Right.
ripping these
Okay.
clothes off.
Absolutely.
Not the
And
$100 bra, not the $90 panties or the garter. We're not doing that. Thank you. So know what's happening with that. So if it's, expensive on the bottom but cheap on top, so he can rip that off, go to, do your shopping, maybe go to a consignment or go to a secondhand or Target or wherever, so that if it's about ripping your clothes off, if that's your fantasy. That used to be one of mine, actually. It's like, this is kind of sexy to me. I don't know, just, that's my thing. I got a lot of stuff with me. um and just make sure it's playful, because if it's not fun, I remember one time meeting somebody at a bar in Manhattan, and just being very not myself, like,
Mhm.
which now at this state in my life, I'm really not sure where that line blurs. But um doing things like really like running my hands up the front of his pants in a bar in
Right.
downtown, but in Wall Street area, where people were very conservative and kind of tied up.
Mhm.
And sliding, just doing things like maybe even things like sliding my skirt up and standing between us, just things that normally you wouldn't do.
You wouldn't do.
um Exactly. One of the other things that I want to talk about, I talked about the importance of the consent, talked about any sex that goes on, or if you pull anybody else into it. Your fantasy might be having somebody else involved in the occasion.
Mhm.
In that case, if you get to that point where you don't feel comfortable anymore, it is okay to say, to trying to change the scenario. If you want to step back and you want those two people to do what they're going to do, then that's a thing too. I know, has that ever happened to you, where you've been in the midst of a fantasy or a role play, and you've kind of like pulled back and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to do this?
Actually, I'm gonna say no. It was all pretty tame stuff, like one of my favorites is I'm a kind of have a shoe fetish. I love shoes.
Oh,
Have like all these high heel shoes, and one of my, of course, the favorites is the trench coat with just the naughty underwear on, but you have on some, what they
oh
call them, your f me shoes.
my
So, but I have had in a winery, the the concierge and the wait staff were like, "What the heck is going on with these people?" And that we kind of embarrassed them, just by getting a little handsy, you know,
God.
taking his hands and doing things that I usually wouldn't do in public.
I
So
love
that
it.
was
I love it.
that was absolutely fun.
Um, it makes me think of, I have said no. I
Okay.
have been in the midst of acting out a fantasy, kind of role play-ish. You won't could deem it as role play. And I kind of got weirded out, and that's gonna happen, because one of the things I want to say to everyone, the less you plan,
Mm,
it's just like anything. He who fails to plan plans to fail. If
right.
you do not plan out what you want, if you are not clear, so that's what I'm saying. Communication, role
Mhm.
play is really, really good if you have hit a patch of just, I don't even want to use that word because it has so many meanings now. You've hit kind of like a speed bump in your sex life, or in your marriage or relationship, and it's
Mm,
just everything is very routine. This communication, and where are we going, planning it together. What are we going to do? What are you going to wear? What am I going to wear?
mm,
How will we, signal each other? How do we communicate? And here's what I don't think I can handle. Here's what I think I can handle. And honestly, I don't know, you said that you didn't have this, but for me, not um not being able to, not having established what was going to be uncomfortable,
mhm.
made it challenging for me when it was like it got uncomfortable, because I
Comfortable.
wasn't clear on what was going to be awkward for me. I hadn't really run it out in my head. We hadn't talked out, here's where we're going. So I
Right.
highly encourage everyone, if this is something that you're thinking about doing, make sure you guys run through that. Another thing, hey, create a backstory. What's the story? Are you in
Yeah.
town on business? Is he in town on business? Are
Right.
you at a convention? Is
Mhm.
this a real talk? I went to in January, I went to a sex toy convention. And I remember walking around saying, this would be an amazing place to have some kind of fantasy kind of hookup or something with someone. So make sure you create a yummy, yes, I did say yummy, yummy backstory that gets your juices flowing, because it's everyone chipping in because as we all know, sex starts here.
Absolutely.
If you can't get it started here, it's never going to get down there. Um, some people have your scents, be it scented candles,
Mm.
okay, be it the fragrance in the perfume. There's a fragrance that I only wear when I see this one person, because this one person gave it to me, because it sets
Ah.
a mood. Let me see what else I wanted to kind of share with you guys. Sometimes you're going to start easy. It's going to start real basic. Um, it's going to start off as it might start off as um you wearing a mini skirt, a really super short skirt with
Mhm.
heels, with red lipstick and going out. And it may advance to you showing up in a fur coat with nothing on, or with
Right.
just
Absolutely.
heels and a garter and something like that as you become more comfortable with it. I'm trying to think of what else I want to say. Um, things that can go wrong. Okay, let's talk things that can go wrong. Have you
Okay.
ever had things go
Oh my
wrong?
God. Well, yeah, as the role play got really intense, so we started going at it in the car and got a knock on the window, and it was the police. Everything okay? The
Oh,
car's rocking it, the windows are
police.
steaming up. Oops. So that was kind of wrong. And you can't do that. Just FYI, you know, at least not here in Cleveland. You can maybe
Oh,
you can in other states and cities. But yeah, that falls kind of under indecent exposure, I think. But we laugh
yeah,
about it. Yeah.
there's certain things that will fall under those auspices. And here's a disclaimer. If you are going to be doing any kind of role play that engages that that you are fantasizing about having sex outdoors, be clear about where you are.
Yes.
If you're outdoors and you have toys, be clear
Oh,
where
yeah.
you are,
Yeah.
because there's certain states like Alabama, and as Karen just mentioned, in this
Mhm.
the glorious state of Ohio, that might get you in jail,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
warning.
If nothing, the less
So
you get a ticket,
yeah,
and you
uh,
just
just
pay
the
the ticket.
ticket.
Don't make us think about it. Just pay
Pay
the
the ticket and make them go away. Things that can go wrong: wardrobe malfunctions,
ticket.
um,
Oh yeah.
oh, or equipment malfunction. So if you're playing with handcuffs, make sure, or rope, make sure that you test these things
Right.
out before you get to the venue of choice. Make sure you got batteries, or that your stuff is charged up.
Right.
Make sure in terms of characters, don't break character. Make a commitment to each other. Like if you're playing cop, bad cop, and naughty
Mhm.
prisoner, that basically you don't break character, that you decide we're going to play this out until you make me till I get out of jail.
Okay.
So
Right.
that kind of thing. Let's see. One of the things that can go wrong is if people go uh every time I do that, it's like me remembering something that went way wrong in one of these scenarios. Somebody just got a little carried away and said some things that made me go, uh-uh, no, we're not gonna say that. And they went, oh, that's not sexy. I don't like that voice. I'm like, I don't like what you said. And
Okay.
then that was like, and as this person likes to say, that was an MK. It was a mood killer. So be careful with your choices of words and things of that nature. I'm trying to think of what else. Want to
Hmm.
throw out some things for those people who are new to role play, and I asked some people to come join us, but they're like, I don't want to think about role play. I've never done that. Um, okay, strangers at a bar. We talked about that one.
Yeah.
Teacher and student. I have acted that one out.
Oh my.
Okay, with an adult, with an adult. And what's scary, yucky is having. I was really reluctant to do that one because after having had a seventh grader, sixth grader, when I was teaching sixth grade make capacity, it was kind of like, I don't
Yikes.
know about this one, but that's an interesting one.
Mhm.
Um, think a la Britney Spears, thinking that. Doctor and patient. I think because of my child, that makes me feel like ew. Have you done doctor and patient?
That's a good one. Yeah.
I can see doctor and nurse more than
Doctor
doctor and
and nurse,
patient
yeah, yeah, because yeah,
in
doctor and
terms of
patient, yeah, it seems like
okay.
it
So in
crosses
terms of
that. Mhm.
role play, we've got the strangers at the bar, the traveling pickup guy. We've got the teacher student, doctor patient,
Mhm.
fantasy characters, and I wonder if anime counts for something like that. What are your
Mm.
thoughts? Like dressing up, you have the anime characters, things like that.
Yeah.
You have masseuse and client. Now that's a
Oh, that's
sexy
a
one.
goodie. That is very
That's a
sexy.
real good
Mhm.
one. Spy and target.
There you go. Yes.
That's a hot
Yeah.
one. That could be hot. Think about all the James Bond movies and all the other action films. Speaking of which, oh Lord, boss and employee. What do we feel about that?
I like that. That kind of puts in that
In the Me
submission
Too generation,
role.
it could be hot because some people have hooked up with their bosses. For some reason,
Absolutely.
I don't know. Let me see what else we got. Time travelers. Ever thought about that?
Oh, oh,
Now that could be sexy and hot.
that could be. Absolutely.
Time time traveling could be an interesting thing. What about stranded on a desert island?
Oh, well,
Anyone
yes,
done that
definitely.
one? That could be interesting. But you know what's so weird as I think about it, as we're calling these out, some of these like kind of like, oh, think about this. They've done TV shows on almost all of these
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
which is
absolutely.
like, oh,
It's
why do they do
fantasy.
this? Um, Photographer and model. I think I said that one.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
one's a sexy
that's
one.
a good one.
Um, what's another one? Superheroes.
Ah,
Batman and Catwoman. Meow. That could be hot and sexy. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be. Let me see. Oh, this is disgusting. Historical figures. Betsy
okay.
Ross and Ben Franklin. What are we talking about?
Oh, wow.
What Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass? What are we doing here? I
I don't
just
know. Okay, I think you went left. Way, way.
yeah. just yeah.
Ah,
Historical characters, celebrity and fan. Okay, that one could work.
that's a good one.
Celebrity
Yeah,
and fan.
celebrity fan. Right.
Um,
I bet you that
oh,
happens a lot.
yes, yes, I think that one might be interesting.
Mhm.
Um, Another one. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? Criminal investigation. I think the first thing I think of is Sharon Stone in
Uh,
that. I don't even remember what the movie was, but I think about that. That could be a really
yeah,
hot one.
basic
Um,
instinct. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
One of the things that really, really, really kind of, hey, Andrea, how you doing? Um, Things that have to be baked into the cake. You've got to be able to adapt because
Okay.
if you forget something or zipper breaks or costume doesn't work, don't
Mhm.
let go of the fantasy. Don't let go of the
Right.
role play because it's going to get you to much better, hotter, steamier segs. Hey, hey, hey. Um, Anything you want to add, Andrea? Let me see if I can add Andrea to the conversation. Let me see. Andrea. Speaking of travel, I didn't know you were doing travel, girl. So I invited Andrea to join us in the conversation. I think you know Andrea. She declined, but that's okay too.
Oh, okay.
Um, One of the things that I like, I don't know if there's an article that I shared with you, Karen. One of the things that I found interesting that about role play, and even if it's a bondage thing, that
Mhm.
a lot of people, this whole nature um, of role play allows people to change their positioning. So if you're someone who is traditionally assertive, it allows you to be in a position where you're more passive, you're more subdued, versus as well as that person who is general color when he okay, sounds great. Uh or if you have that person who is always passive, allow that person to be in this role
Right.
play, allow
Yeah.
them to be that person who's in charge or who's running the show at that point in time. um One of the things that I really always suggest is things like, and I say about harm or being challenged by things, rope. Okay, here's the one thing that I highly do not recommend: the snuff films fantasy.
Oh,
That's not a good one because people can kind of lose it, lose control. I personally almost got killed with somebody who kind of
yeah. I think if
did
somebody
not.
brings that up, I don't think I'm going to do any role play with them, and I may no. I'm gonna, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
that
do that
that
next time. Yeah, no.
see, and to this point, I always say to people, you cannot. And someone said something that this goes hand in hand with something else. You have to have a real high level of trust in order to do role play with someone. This is not the kind of thing you do on your third date
Right.
or on, you get on Tinder and say to somebody, hey, let's meet and let's do role play. That's not going to happen. We all know that. We're all adults with this. Even in a relationship, it's the kind of thing that if someone shows up with handcuffs on like the fourth date, I'm looking at you like, seriously, I'm really thinking, no, that's not for me. That's got to be for you.
Right.
Um, we will not be adjusting and adapting to the handcuffs on the fourth date.
No.
With things like setting the tone, um, being really clear. I know the first time I did go on a date, and I had expressed to someone that my thing was, I really like the notion of tying someone up and being tied up. And he showed up with handcuffs, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I didn't think you took me seriously." And
hey.
because we had been in a relationship for a while, it wasn't a scary thing, but it was like, oh, I took it as okay, he did listen to me. And oh, I think we're at a place where we can do this kind of thing because he did let me tie him up first.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, okay, now I can let you do that because you let me tie
Okay.
you up first. So, one of the other things, what else I want to talk about? Um, this is, tell me, Karen, really, just in terms of your experience with this, are there any regrets you've ever had with this, with
Uh,
role play?
well, because play, like you said, it comes with a whole lot of trust in a person,
Hmm.
and other genres or avenues of the relationship, you know, sex can't be the only good thing. So I guess
Hmm.
maybe with a particular person, I'm like, darn, I wish this got to worked out because we could still be, enjoying and having a great, healthy sex life. It was nice. It's nice to grow with somebody who's never done it before.
Oh, interesting.
It's like you're both virgins at, certain things,
Okay.
you know. So that's always a good thing. And then you're like, darn it, we broke up. Now I hope he's not off doing that with somebody else. He's probably thinking the same thing, right, about me. So
On the way.
yeah.
That is, I think, when you're talking about having somebody who you two evolve in that level of intimacy together,
Mhm.
it does create a higher level of trust. And I think if you're starting in that together, you're in a place where you're like, okay, hopefully I don't have to, I know I'm not going to hurt them, they're not going to hurt me, and we
Right.
can kind of move into this together. And you can, all of a sudden you're out there buying French maid costumes. Honey,
Mhm.
look what I got, let's do this next.
Right.
Hotels, location, I want to talk location for a quick second.
Mhm.
Sometimes these are not things that you want to do at your house. They're just not.
Mhm.
um Especially if things aren't going the way that you want them to go. It's good to, I found for Karen that this is something that I preferred exploring at a hotel,
Okay.
you know, at a hotel with thick walls.
Okay.
So
Ab-
probably
Absolutely.
and good furniture. So we weren't doing anything. Talking afterwards. And
Mhm.
I didn't realize I had a conversation with someone recently, and they said that when we would embark on fun and games, that the important thing for them was after the conversation. That's what, and it struck me. It's like, oh, I think I missed that. That
Yeah,
was one of the things that sewed together the intimacy
absolutely.
to when you and I was like, why are we rehashing this? It wasn't a matter of rehashing it. It's how did you feel? What were you thinking?
Right.
And how did that make you feel? And it's taken me a minute to go, oh, okay, that's where that intimacy comes together, that
Right.
aftercare, that after communication. So you
Right.
have to have that as almost like, for lack of a better word, in a very non sexy way, a debrief. How was
Absolutely.
that for you, babe?
Yeah. What can I do better? What could I do more of or less of? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But ooh, remember that time I tried to bounce and my knee went crack, crack? I was like, ooh, we don't think we're gonna do that again.
Right. Right.
Oh, I'm trying to think of
That's
what
that's
else.
true.
Which is so funny. I'm like, you know what? I gotta tell you guys for real. This show is Toy Talks After Dark, and even as we jump into midlife must, they're not just about me. I mean, I tell you guys a lot about me, and I try and pull a lot about Karen, but it really is about the learning and the growing. For me, each time we share something or we have an episode, it really allows me to kind of see where I needed to grow, where I am growing. And I hope this gives you guys an opportunity. Karen, is that for you? Are you finding that as we kind of move through some of these different things that it gives you an opportunity to grow and to learn stuff about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think when you first started these conversations, I probably, I was really quiet. I was listening. I was like, I'm just gonna listen. But now I feel more comfortable explaining some of these things because I'm like, oh yeah, I have done. I'm not a total,
No,
you
not at
know.
all.
So it is good and it does help and it's gonna help, with the partners. It helps, your confidence, you
Hmm.
know, and then you
Yeah.
can you can do, I mean, even if you're in a job interview, you may be doing a little bit of role playing there and you just don't know it. So, some things just come out naturally, organically,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've learned. And enjoy that confidence.
I definitely agree with you on that. I think for me, and I hope that this happens for those of you who are watching, um, that in terms of the communication, and someone said you just kind of like stripped away all the lasciviousness out of this. But I
Mhm.
want people to have this open communication, to be able to talk about things in a way that's less icky, less like um, that's the physical on it. I want to pause for a quick second because I want to go and get the toys for the evening, and I want to go and get the bondage box. Yay, the bondage box. I'll be right back. We should have some music playing
Yeah, that's something that we definitely can.
since this is the new format. Okay,
Okay.
so first I'll start with the bondage box because we're almost done with the bondage box. Hey, Jay. So I had promised that we would continue to go through this till the end. So for those of you who weren't here before, we had the blindfold, and I'm loving the blindfolds, by the way. We had the panty vibe, complete with remote control. Yay. We had the ring We had the bondage tape, and I missed last week, sorry. All right, this is week 6. And just to let you guys know, if this is something that's interesting to you, we have 20, I think he gave us 25% off this kit. I think that's what he said. Which was very kind. What is this? Oh, this is nice. Okay. Look at you, Jay. So this would be first and foremost, since we're talking about things that are great for role play and things of that nature, this spice box, perfect assortment of goodies for that. So here is I don't have a scissor. Thank goodness I don't have my nails on. This piece, and I've seen this before. All right, this one I love about this. This is a pin needle. Okay, so when you go to push it into charge, it should be down here, I believe. Should be either here or here. I think they're normally here. All right, so that's going to go in to charge before I destroy it. Anyway, and that's going to go in. It's going to charge. What I love about it, you can plug it into your computer, USB port, fantastic. What I like about this doubly is for those people who may have a little bit of arthritis in their hands, rheumatoid arthritis or things of that nature, this allows you to hold it and not have to worry about your hands, that grip, that kind of, after a while, you've been holding things for a while, it has an ergonomic grip here, and it has, you can slide your fingers through that way, as well as just holding on to it this way. And this is very nice because this is a vibrating, what is he calling it? I don't want to uncall it. He's calling it Chinese name. Okay. No name on that. But in fact, I have one of these in purple. So that's pretty cool. Now, for us, what I wanted to share, because I always want to share something that's a lube that gets you moving, as well as another functional kind of toy that's significant. So I wanted to promote this week the Quickie Kit by Foria. Okay, let's see if you guys can see it here. All right. This is amazing. And I'm going to tell you why this is amazing. I was promoting this last year in the fall. What I like about this Quickie Kit is it's good for those people who are over 40. Okay. What I like is this has a intimacy CBD based oil. And what that does is if you have any kind of tension, if you're stressed, if you're nervous, you're anxious, and you're a little bit more constricted, the CBD on the intimacy oil is going to help. The intimacy oil is good if you have very sensitive breasts, or if you want it rubbed anyplace else, that's a good thing for you. What I like about this is a suppository, okay? This suppository gives you the ability to, can you see that, Karen? The suppository.
Now I can.
All right.
Yeah.
Suppository gives you the ability to insert that in, and it has this not coconut, stop lying. It has a chocolate, cacao, cocoa butter kind of feeling. So inside of you, it makes it smooth out. It's very gentle, and it prevents any kind of tearing, hence Quickie Kit. Okay. So that'll be that. This is the other reason why I like it. You get just try 3 different products. This is the Awaken Arousal Oil. So I got it backwards. So this is the sex oil, okay, for sex parts. And this is the arousal oil for your nipples or wherever else you want to use this. So I really like this Quickie Kit. This is what I'm promoting this week. This Quickie Kit is $45. Okay. The other thing, in terms of fantasy and role play, this is something that I picked up. It is a Position Pal. Okay. What I like about this Position Pal is you get to, for some people, you get to a certain point in time in life where you cannot keep your legs up for whatever reason. Okay. It could be you've got a Charlie horse. It could be you just haven't been to the gym. It could be, you haven't been to the gym or yoga in a long time and it's just not working out for you.
Right.
So this, what I like about this, if you notice here, they're straps. And with these straps, it gives you the ability, like if your leg only goes like this, oh Lord, you need to pull it out a little bit more. You can, it's like, oh child, wait. Gotta let it down just a little bit more. You can do your legs like that. So it's not just on him holding your legs up. He's like, girl, you gotta do better. Put your legs up. Okay. So, and also what I like about this is it has a neck brace kind of thing, a cushion for around your neck. So
Wow.
it's not like you have this kind of strap digging into your neck. So those are the two products. This one is 45 as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And this one is 45. Things are reasonably priced. Also, want to let you guys know that we are having the Toy Talks After Dark is having a trunk sale at the end of the summer during Labor Day. And I will be marking things down. Some things will be marked down 40% off. So any new items that I have in will not. Some things that I've been kind of taking to shows or to home parties and things like that, those things will probably be marked down 40% off. So if there's a toy or something that you were thinking about to kind of, you have a college student that's going to college and you want them to kind of be able to like handle their business before they jump into a big relationship, this might be the time to get a going away toy or a toy for you if you're an empty nester. Yay,
Right.
you!
Yay.
Yes. And then, but here's the thing, all of the toys that I sell are very low noise. So in case you have those noisy toys at home that are like, that's not what we do here. Okay. So anywho, I'm gonna let you guys go. Karen, anything else you want to add or any questions or anything before we close out?
No, that's it. This was a good one. Learned a lot. Everybody have fun, be free, and don't forget about the toy talk and the toys available.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, as I like to say, if you're not going to be good at it. If you have any questions or have any ideas or things that you want us to talk about on Toy Talks After Dark, anything that you're like, hey, I wonder if they know about or would they be open to chatting about, drop it in the chat. Send me an email at info@winkblinkflirt.co and I will get that. And Karen and I will workshop something and come up with something uh, to kind of talk about. We will have other guests. There are some people who are on the horizon coming in and some experts, as I promised. This is it. To my word, we're going to do half and half. We'll do promoting some products as well as giving you guys some information to help you guys learn a little bit about some different stuff. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and I look forward to seeing you next week. This is Wink, Blink, and Flirt. Take care. Good night. See you later, StreamYard. We'll see you later. Thanks
Looks
so
like
much for stopping in, StreamYard.
you're still on with StreamYard.